What's going on, guys? How you doing? Mo, Papa Ganush, Gurvinder, Vlad, Ginger, what's going on, guys? Obviously a very boring day. I told you right in the morning we could have just a sideways day getting ready for a big movie either tomorrow or next week. We do have OPEX next Friday, so I am risk off. The pattern's just too strong. Everyone that attended the charting session last night, you've seen what my thoughts were. SPY every single month. On the 19th, it's bottomed, and the 19th is next Friday. So why would you even take that risk? You know what I mean? I can sit on the sidelines. Remember, we don't have to make money today. You can make money tomorrow. You can make more money next week, you know? So today I'm just going to go over the market a little bit, and then I'll go over some plays I'm watching for next week. What's up, Ricky? How you doing, Rav? I did like nothing today at all, Rev. I relaxed, I chilled. Very good for my mental health, I think. Finally, we got a little break here. We're still in those SPY and QQQ puts. I am still bearish for next week. We'll see what happens tomorrow. If I change my mind, I change my mind. If I don't, I'll add to them. What's up, Optimus? How you doing, brother? So yeah, just from the charting session again, I'll go over it just in case you missed it. On the 19th of every single month on SPY was the OPEX week, not just on SPY. Obviously, the whole market, OPEX options expiration. It's a huge options expiration on the 19th of every month. And what happened, the last 6 OPEXs, 5 of them, the OPEX marked the bottom. So let's go back here. May 19th, we marked the bottom on the lows. It was pulling back, and we marked the bottom. On the June 18th, sorry, the 19th was a Saturday. So obviously you can't trade on Saturday. We got a dump off going into OPEX, and then on OPEX, the 19th, we bottomed, so we came back up. July, same story, bottomed, came back up. 5 straight days down into the OPEX, bottomed, and came back up. Same thing in August, 3 days down into the OPEX, bottomed, came back up. September, we bottomed, September 19th, September 20th, 19th was a Sunday, 20th was the day after OPEX. And we bottomed, came back up, and then we rolled over. So this was the first time that we rolled over, and October 19th was the only one that ever was green. In the last 6 months, one OPEX was green. So that's what I'm taking in mind. Obviously, I'm in puts already. I do expect some downside here. What's going on? Kevin, Emilio, Gervais, Ayush, good to see you guys. If you're new in the chat, if you just joined, don't just try to jump into options right away. There's a reason we're sitting on the sidelines. We know what we're doing. And as you guys see, it's very similar action to these last few OPEXs. So if 5 out of 6 OPEXs bottom the market, why would you think this is any different? As you guys see here, it's very similar action to July, where we started selling off and then bottomed right on OPEX. So one thing we're going to do here today, this is not good action. This is not constructive action. We closed under the 8-day moving average. Again, I believe 427 is the 8-day moving average. We closed below it again. Just a little inside day today. Nothing really major. Obviously, guys, you're watching just a major snooze fest. Yesterday was a huge candle. Big upper wick, big lower wick. Today we closed right inside there. So today's high and today's low is important. Why is it important? Because on an inside day, we're building momentum. If we break this inside day to the downside tomorrow, we could have momentum selling and go test yesterday's low. If we break it to the upside, we can have momentum buying and we can test to yesterday's high. So just watch today's high and low, which was 465.29 to the upside, 463.75 to the downside. Whichever way it breaks, we could get a big move in that direction, up or down. Other than that, I mean, it's just very boring day. Still under the 8-day moving average. As you guys see on the daily on SPY, almost every time we've closed one candle, the first candle that closes below the 8-day moving average is usually not the end of the selling. So we closed below it right here, 1-2 more days of sell-off. We closed below it here, we had like a week and a half below the 8-day moving average. Back here, like just go look at it yourself if you don't believe me. It's just a pattern that I've noticed. And we closed below the 8-day yesterday, so I thought we would have a slight green today, but nothing happened at all. We just went sideways. What's up, Peter? How you doing? Good to see you. And same thing with QQQs. It's just kind of completely sideways. Just killing premium today. There's a thing in the market called Theta Thursdays where they used to do this back in the day. The last few Thursdays have been very good, but they used to just burn premium all day on Thursdays. So everyone that's in a weekly lotto for Friday's expiry, they would burn both the calls and the puts. What's going on, Brandon? How you doing? Peter, I'm all out of Pinterest. I'm risk off, but we'll go over it. I have it at the end here. XLF was the one only thing holding us up today. A little bit of a up day. If you watch the post market every single day, you know I've been talking about this range on XLF, and it's just holding within the range. So this range, the bottom range is these two yellow lines here, 39.92, 39.69. That's a little demand area. Every time the price dips in there, buyers show up. 40.68 to 40.44 is the upper range. So whenever it goes up there, sellers show up or shorts show up. So it just struggled today to stay in the range. Yesterday it dumped, still stayed in the range. So we're just staying in this little range here. Until we break out one way or the other, we're just going to stay in this range. And we're still under the 8-day moving average. We're just holding on to the 21-day moving average. Let's see what happens next. IWM, I'm waiting for another position in this one. Obviously, I don't think the consolidation is done yet. Another inside day here. Same story as SPY. If it breaks to the upside, momentum buying to the upside. If it breaks to the downside, momentum buying to the downside. The upside number is 240. The downside number is 237. So just watch where it goes tomorrow. VIX still up here. I told you guys, as long as VIX holds above 1768, we're going to have some volatility. What isn't it showing properly? Is there no volume on the side? Is it good now? Give me 1 second. Should be good now. Let's move on with it. As long as VIX is above 1768, there will be volatility in the market. If we dump the VIX back below this level, then the market can rip. But right now, we had that little compressed breakout that I've been talking about. VIX dumps down, it compresses a little bit, and then it makes a big move. Compresses, makes a big move. So get ready for some volatility. And I do expect volatility next week for OPEX. Like I told you guys, I am short for the 19th. I just keep adding to it. As soon as I get a pop, I add. As soon as I get a pop, I add. Oh, the selfie cam. You wanted to see me, huh, Turkey? No, there's something wrong with that camera. I gotta call Matt. I don't know what's going on. I changed monitors. I found another one. Okay, so Pinterest. Someone asked me about Pinterest. We'll go to the weekly here. This is why we took the trade, is because we're in this big descending channel. Right at the bottom of the descending channel. We dumped to the channel, and then we bounced last week up 3.5%. This week, obviously, the market is weak, so it's very hard for pins to go. But on the daily, it doesn't look too bad still. We had this big move from 43 all the way to 48 almost. So a $5 move up, and today we closed at 45. So we're still above that 50% range. 43 to 48 is $5. Drop down to 43 bucks. It's a little more consolidation than I like, but I'm all out, so I don't really care. I'm just waiting for this one. I've seen a lot of flow in leaps today. You see the stochastics are way overdone. Looks like we're going to start curling up here soon. RSIs is very, very low, so it looks like it could turn up soon, but with the market weak, this one's not going to go either. Other than that, I will be looking for a re-entry. So a bunch of these names I have up here, I'm just talking about next Friday. I have a lot of positions that I want to take. I will turn back bullish most likely. Tesla, here we go on Tesla, just completely boring. Nothing doing today. Did Elon sell his shares? Didn't he sell his shares? Who gives a shit? Just watch the price action. Huge run up all the way from 780 all the way up here to 1250. I mean, after a run like that where it almost doubled in market cap, like probably like 40% run up, I think, it dumped. It's obviously anything that moves up this fast is going to dump this fast. So that's one thing you have to know. If you're playing volatility to the upside, always know that it will go exactly the same amount of speed to the downside. So big 12% down day 2 days ago. Yesterday we had a little oversold bounce. Today we did have an oversold bounce open, but I think Tesla rolls over from here. We close below 1070. Next level is 1030. Next after that is 995. If we do reverse and close over 1070, we can go all the way to 1150, then 1163. So those are my numbers on Tesla. If we close a candle below 1030, we're going to 995 in my opinion. Let's see what happens. DKNG, just a completely broken chart. Had all that good news and it was just rolling over, losing all supports. There is one little glimpse of hope right here from May 13. But other than that, it's just rolling over. I mean, stochastics and RSI are way down here, so it's due for a bounce. But again, with the market weak, I will not like this one. This is one I do want to watch for next week. So I'm going to write some stuff here. Next week, when we are finished with OPEX, I have a bunch of longer term positions that I want to take. One of them is DKNG. Another one I'm watching is this SoFi. Their earnings are actually pretty good. They're in the loan business. I love that sector right now, especially with what's going on in the world. and I'm already in LC, and I've already traded UPST, as you guys know. So this is another one I'm watching for leaps next week. Why am I watching this one for weeks? Look at this IPO. So this is a picture perfect like IPO. You could count this as a base, right? Even if you want to draw some trend lines, you can do whatever the hell you want. It's just when an IPO first starts, no one knows what it's really worth. It kind of bases out for a while, and then when it breaks out, it's very explosive. For example, this Airbnb. Big base, right? Just basing out price discovery. Where does it belong? What price should it cost? And it just broke out right here. I was trying to buy this one at 154.50. I ended up taking lottos instead. I made good money on the lottos, but I wanted equity forever, right? So 154.50, as soon as we broke it, I kept waiting, and then we retested. I didn't see it this day, and then we just been grinding higher all the time. So solid companies after their IPO, you never know when they're gonna go, but most of the time they do go. That's why I'm looking for SoFi leaps or equity to, next week after OPEX is done with. Another one I want Amazon leaps. This is pretty self-explanatory. Probably gonna take the same ones as Ricky. Hopefully I get a cheap price. That's why I don't care if Amazon comes down. This is a weekly chart. Like, even look at the monthly chart. Look how tight this one is. That's a monthly chart of Amazon. Look at this huge bull flag. How many months does it need to consolidate for this move? When it does go, it will go. So I'm looking for leaps on this one as well. This is number 3 play for me. Well, they're not in order, obviously. It's just my plays that I'm looking at for next week. UPST, it's just overvalued, man. It's a great company. Great earnings, great everything, great growth, great sector. They just went up way too fast. Remember, I called out this UPST at 126. We bought it at 126. We sold it at 200. So obviously we missed a lot of this move. Why did I sell it at 200? Because it was supposed to be valued at 200. So we caught 74 points on it. I sold it. And this move right here is just way overdone. Very clear head and shoulders forming, as I've already drawn here. If you guys didn't see it before earnings, that's your fault. But earnings just absolutely fell off a cliff. Great earnings, great growth, great everything. Just got a little too ahead of itself, and now it has to discover what price it's worth. See, because Upstart is valued at 8x more than LC, and they have very similar revenue, very similar growth, very same sector, same technology, and LC was trading at 1/8 of UPST. So does LC go up 8x from here to catch up to UPST's valuation, or does UPST come down to LC's valuation, or do they meet somewhere in the middle, which is the most likely? So that's where you have to see, is it worth me playing UPST here when it's valued so high, or is it worth me playing LC until it catches up to UPST's valuation? That's why I'm taking LC equity. That's why I have LC leaps, and that's why I'm looking to get SoFi long. But those are my 3 trades that I'm looking for. And another one I'm looking for next week, I'll probably take this tomorrow. I know Turkey will like this one. We missed it last time. But this net. So why do I'm going to short net into next week. Why am I going to short net it into next week? Look at this weekly. The weekly has gone parabolic for 6 straight weeks. Last week, a bunch of profit taking. This week, same thing, a bunch of profit taking. If you scroll out on net, every time it's gotten farther away from the 8-day moving average, it pulls back. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take like December puts on net, probably the 170s, because the 8-day moving average is at 172. And I'm just going to wait till it pulls back. And I'm almost certain this one, when it pulls back, is not going to stop at the 8-day. It's going to go all the way to the 21-day, in my opinion. Just from previous price action, every time it gets away, it always pulls back in. Every time it gets away, pulls back in. Every time it pulls away too far, pulls back into the 21-day. So that's my play that I'm going to take tomorrow, most likely. December puts on net, and I'll call it out in the premium chat just for you guys, the specific one that I take. But thank you guys for attending. If you have any questions, just message in the premium chat, and I'll try to get to them. See you guys tomorrow.